Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day, hump day, hump day.
Hey guys, and welcome to the show. This Wednesday, we are bringing a presentation of Lifting the Veil, which is the show where Franz brings a presentation, and it's been a little while since we had one of these, so pretty excited to see what he's got for us. So, welcome back again, Franz. Good to have you back on the show.
It's good to be here. Always good to be here. Thank you. See James. Hey, James. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you can make it. So, yes, we're lifting the veil today. Again, I'm going to have to cut out around 50 minutes to an hour and get my son from work. And what I intended on talking about, it's quite a bit regardless. So it's going to be a two-part. So I'm going to start presenting and show you what I have and leave it wide open for the next time. And Jay's going to address a few things. Kind of do like a little mixture. You get a little bit of both shows today. I'm up super early in the morning. I don't know if anybody noticed or heard all the big hype about the supermoon, the orange supermoon. But if you've seen it, it was pretty big, pretty orange and crazy looking. I live in New England and I live in the wood area. When I was out there, it was just an eerie calm, and I could hear the wildlife out there moving around, but it was just this quiet and eerie calm. And noticed that it was this huge moon, and they were also flying around, doing their trails all afternoon yesterday.
Oh,
so
yeah, dude. There was
pretty
a
foggy.
ton of chemtrails yesterday.
Yeah, it was. They had their agenda going yesterday, and it made sense why when I saw the moon. But then on my drive to work, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, it's 9 because it's SEPTA, right? And it's 17. So it all started running, all this, go out there and check it out. Oh, go look at the moon. It's a super moon. It was a portal moon. It was definitely a spiritual moon. So I started thinking 9, 17, right? So that's 17 is Q, right? The 17th letter is Q. The 9th letter is I. So you had an IQ, right? And then 17 plus 9 is 24. So it's 2024 in the year, right? What was the other? Well, 9 and 7, 9, 10, 17. It's 17. And again, regardless, right? 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 7 is 17. So you have your Q there again. And then I had another one and I couldn't remember. I should have wrote it down. But when I was driving, multiple people, including my wife, saw a fisher cat. She was excited the first time I saw a fisher cat. And you normally don't see them pretty wild or, crossing the road or around vehicles. But they are like a cat, a feline. So a wild cat that's nocturnal at night hunting around 5 in the morning. This portal moon was throwing them off. So anyways, if you hear of crazy things or felt weird or just observed the night yesterday, it was definitely a portal moon, I would call it.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of fisher cats up here, but you never see them, man.
No, there was
They're usually
multiple.
pretty stealthy.
Yeah. So that was basically what I wanted to start off with. I'm going to start presenting here. Don't jump right into my slides.
Did you know that that the moon was in conjunction with Saturn last night?
Was it? That was the other thing, right?
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
In conjunction, the great conjunction.
Yeah. It's the end of the world. Or the beginning.
Or the beginning. Don't know.
Yeah.
We're quoting the Dark Crystal, if you're wondering where we're rambling on about. All right. I think I'm sharing, right? Okay, I see multiple
Yes,
screens
sir.
up there. All right. So, lifting the veil. Basically, I'm just going to show you a few things. I speak a lot of perception and how we perceive things and how we've been altered. Our perception's been altered in the slightest, and then it throws all of us off. You don't know what's up, down, left, right, and your perception of time and so we've also been talking a lot about technologies and the advancements of technologies, and we're going to kind of go through some truths of perception of time on when technological advances were being made, or they disclose when they were started or began. So it's going to be a two-part. So mostly I encourage you. I'm hoping that what I present to you will get you thinking and want you to dig into it. Look at some of these things. So the word robot, I've been using that quite a bit, and that's been in vocabulary and pumped into mainstream conditioning or everything, with cars driving themselves, a vacuum. We talk about the movies. So 1920 is when the word robot was first used to denote a fictional humanoid in a 1920 Czech language play. It's called RUR, and it's in Czech. I'm not even going to try to read it, but I guess it stands for Rossum's Universal Robots by Karl Čapek, even though it was Karl's brother, Joseph Čapek, who was the word's true inventor. The word comes from the Old Church Slavonic word robota, which means servitude of forced labor. So
that's pretty interesting.
It is, isn't it? That's also where the word slave comes from. It refers to the Slavs, the Slavs who were forced to be robots, servitude and forced labor, right? So I would say during this time, they were using slave and Slav and robot interchangeably. Why have we been convinced you say the word Slav or read the word Slav, like Slav, we read it as slave, and our perception, we're going to start seeing the two opposite colors, right?
Yeah.
Realistically, they were inventing a word for the same thing, which we now throw around as like a vacuum cleaner. That's our little robot, right?
Yeah.
And they're all cartooned, and they're fun, and they're cute, and There's nothing wrong with robotics, but I mean, the word was used. So these writers, they're already using the word. They're coining the term of forced labor. So whether you create a human to do labor or you create a machine to do your labor, it's the same word. 1920, that's over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And here's the book cover, if you will. A play. I guess they made it into a play.
What was that?
The Iron Giant.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
call, Franz. Good mind reading techniques. Yeah. I was looking at that going, that reminds me of that cartoon, man.
This paved the way and probably wrote the foundations for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it looks a lot like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so with a robot not being invented in 1920, but the word was, they sure had an accurate imagination.
Right.
Or they knew of existing technologies from a previous civilization.
Yeah, I would say that's probably pretty accurate.
And so 1920, in the late 30s, was one of the World's Fairs. We've discussed the World's Fairs. I've gone and delved a little dive into some of the World's Fairs at the turn of the century, 1800s, 1890s, and it goes into Ohio. No, Chicago. I can't remember now. I'm sorry. I'd have to look it up. But there was one in 1938, and just like every other World's Fair, it was the 1938 World's Fair, but was in 1940. All World's Fair are a year late, which is funny. And this picture is of the Westinghouse Electric Corporation, Electro, a robot built by J.M. Barnett, Jack Weeks Sr., Harold Gorsuch, and other engineers at the Westinghouse Electric Corporation. And they built this in between 1937 and 1938 to be displayed and advertised for the Westinghouse. They made the light bulb. They were the competitors in electricity during the electricity race.
Yeah. They have the same logo as the company Walletmore, which is going to have something to do with the mark. Westinghouse. They have that same logo.
That same logo, right. These same engineers were involved with IBM, who was, tracking population movement in certain countries during these times as well. But if you notice, Electro has his little company dog, his companion dog.
How interesting! We have both of those things now.
And now we have both of those things.
Yeah.
You can buy them, and there's police departments that have these things. Yes, so this was quite an imagination for an electrical company in 1930, mid-30s, which was, 1920. They just came up with the word robot. So they came quite far, and what this thing was capable of in the early or late 30s, it's crazy. It had I didn't put it in there. Did I not get it? All right, I didn't. Sorry, I had a bounce there. So this thing was programmed with it could speak, answer questions. It had 700 word vocabulary at the time. It would make movements and interact. And and give commands to the dog. The dog would sit, and you see it's in a standing position. But for never having robots or having just been around for 15 years from imagination, they sure went highly sophisticated with this robot. To me, what they described this robot was capable of doing sounds a lot like Alexa and Siri and what's that other humanoid female? Sophie.
I have no idea.
Well, the whole, talks for the last 5 so years of Sophie and these other humanoid robots that are AI and answering questions and communicating with people, again, is nothing new. It's 100 years old. They've been doing it. So the Westinghouse Electric Corporation, later became the CBS Corporation, which I found funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Westinghouse Electric Corporation became the, the Central Broadcasting Corporation. It was an American manufacturing company founded in 1886. So between 1886 to 1930-ish, they went from creating electricity, light bulbs, to talking robots.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Named Westinghouse Electric Manufacturing Company and was renamed Westinghouse Electric Company in 1945. So shortly after, it went through 20, 30, 40, 50 years and building a talking robot, 7 feet tall. They then became the Electric Corporation in 45. With what they show off and what they tell you, it's 2 completely different things.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So during these times in the 40s, we're getting into the 40s now. There's a guy named Norbert Weiner. Excuse me. According to Norbert Weiner, the word cybernetics was coined by a research group involving himself and Arturo Rosenbluth in the summer of 1947.
Of course it is.
It's been in print since at least 1948 through Weiner's book, Cybernetics, or Control and Communication in the Animal and the Machine.
Wow.
So 1947, they're admitting it was 1947 that this one person invented cybernetics, which is the control and communication in the animal and the machine.
That's crazy.
Which again contradicts the robot and the robot's dog from Westinghouse in 10 years prior. So here's Norbert Weiner. He was born in 1894 in Columbia, Montana. Died March 18, 1964 in Stockholm, Sweden. He was an American mathematician who established the science of cybernetics. And he attained international renown by formulating some of the most important contributions to mathematics in the 20th century. So he's taking, and they're giving him credit, international credit for formulating some of the most important contributions to mathematics. So he basically gave the foundations of the rules of how math is supposed to be. Like he invented it.
Yeah.
But what's cybernetics? It's a field of study. It's a science, right? And all sciences are just forms of alchemy, modern names for alchemy. Right? Cybernetics is the transdisciplinary study of curricular processes such as feedback systems where outputs are also inputs.
Skynet.
Cybertronics, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terminator, man.
The brain computer interface chip that gets implanted that has been in human trials recently, that's cybernetics.
Yeah. Cybernetics.
So to think that cybernetics, the foundations for brain chips, interfaces, all of, having an eyeball implanted that has night vision, that was cybernetics. That was back in the early 40s, even earlier. I still strongly believe if they emit it at a certain year, you can count at least 20 to 40 years.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So if they admit, oh, this is the guy who created cybernetics in 47, it was more like 07 or earlier.
Right.
When we've been we've been conditioned to perceive the timeline as wagon wheel, right? 1890s wagon wheel, maybe a train.
Yeah.
Farmers and a bunch of bumbling idiots who don't know anything, but then we have what? The ice box, the light bulb, and then the refrigerator. But during these times, they were doing cybernetics and coining the term robot for forced labor.
And they were building the most complex buildings in the history of the world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
With wagons.
They had the pulley systems, all right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
They had a pulley and a pickaxe.
So going into the 50s now, we're working up on this timeline that makes so much more sense than what we were taught. Because here, this Dartmouth workshop, it's called the Dartmouth Workshop. It was the Dartmouth Summer Research Projects on Artificial Intelligence. The Summer Research Project on Artificial Intelligence was 1956. Summer workshop, widely considered to be the founding event of artificial intelligence as a field of science. Where is Dartmouth? At Dartmouth College, Hanover, New Hampshire. It was an 8 weeks duration of artificial intelligence fair.
So, go ahead.
Dartmouth in Hanover is a medical school, medical college, hospital.
It's so weird because I was just watching this show on YouTube this morning about demons in AI because people are starting to catch on.
Absolutely.
And this was brought up that AI, like the idea of AI was birthed right here in New Hampshire. I was like, what? And now you're talking about it later that same day. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. And so one of the founding doctors or scientists, I can't remember his name. This is just a little extra funny. I think I've briefly have mentioned it to you through text some time ago, but he was a scientist, and it wasn't a doctor. He went there for some scientist degree. I don't remember, but in this area, if you get in a horrible accident and the helicopter comes to rescue you, this is the place they fly you to. Yeah. If you want to see a diversity of doctors from all over the globe, this is where you go to. Yeah. And it's mind-blowing to grow up with that perception of such a prestigious college and hospital college, a medical facility or what you will. It blows my mind when I find out or can pinpoint somebody, or like this Dartmouth workshop. It's like, why is there, computer sciences there? And nowadays the two are one and the same, technology and medical. But the turn of the 1900s to the 1950s, well, it's just mind blowing, right? And then to have professors that have their degrees in science, not medical but in science, and then they have a wife with the last name of Wheelock, and then you find that name all over different places in New Hampshire, including towns near Jay.
That's where I went to elementary school.
See, there's an elementary school. There's the park, yeah, and there's one in other towns in the area. But yeah, and digging into this, I learned that there's other branches of Dartmouth in Massachusetts, which I didn't know of either. But either way, so this is a medical school in New Hampshire where artificial intelligence was born. I'd say closer to the 1800s, if not before. But
what an interesting word, Dart mouth.
Right?
It kind of screams wickedness, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you put it like that, yeah. Some of the people that were at this Dartmouth workshop, Dartmouth workshop, they called logic theorists. They gave these scientists or these medical field scientists an actual name. They were there to theorize about artificial intelligence and logic theorists. And it is a computer. So they create this idea of artificial intelligence in this 8-week program in the summer of 1956. They also wrote a computer program in 1956, and they call it the Logic Theorist. Alan Newell, Herbert A. Simon, and Cliff Shaw. It was the first program deliberately engineered to perform automated reasoning. Kind of like your maps, your Google Maps is automated reasoning of which route would be fastest, less traffic. Where was I? Lost my spot. Sorry. It was the first
reasoning.
Deliberately engineered to perform automated reasoning and has been described as the first artificial intelligent program. The very first logic theorist proved 38 of the first 52 theorems in Chapter 2 of Whitehead and Bertrand Russell's Principia Mathematica, and found a new and shorter proofs in some of them. So their first program of artificial intelligence solved 38 of their 52 theorems and problems.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you figure it's how many times did they have to build the car before they got it right? How many times did they try the light bulb before they got it right?
How many square wheels did they make?
That's what I mean. We evolved from discovering fire on our own and making a wheel, but they can sit down for 8 weeks in the 50s and come up with artificial intelligence. Not only come up with it, but write a program for a computer to figure out theorems. Okay.
Yeah, like computers, like didn't like Turing do the first computer in like 1948 or something?
Yeah. So then the touring, I don't know exactly what time, but that comes up. I'm gonna probably bring that up in part 2.
Okay.
But it was a test to compete or test computer algorithms or computer systems to see how fast they can think, if it can outthink a person. It's the test that developed the chess playing AI.
Yeah, it's to see, and it's supposed to you use the Turing test to see if a computer is sentient.
Is sentient, right? So it has this computer got so good at convincing people that it's a person that no longer can a human tell it's not a person.
Right. Yeah, because Turing invented the first computer to break the Germans' Enigma.
Enigma machine. That's correct. Yeah. Lisp, programming language. So if your perception to think that language models like AI language models have just come out, like word prediction when you're typing in for your search bar, or Chat GPT with its language, right? You think they just been all of a sudden came up with that in say 2020s, 2010s? No. They called it Lisp. Historically, LISP, an abbreviation of list processing, is a family of programming languages. Not one, a family of programming languages with a long history and a distinctive, fully parenthesized prefix notation, originally specified in the late 50s. And it's the second oldest high-level programming language, still in common use. Lisp has changed since the early days, and many dialects have existed over its history. Today, the best-known general-purpose Lisp dialects are Common Lisp, Scheme, Racket, and Clojure. Basically, just it's a language model. It's building a language. You know, every time anybody would play with it or enter a new word into it, it was learning, relearning, comparing new languages, dialects, different dialects. But programming languages and language models have been around since the 50s, even before.
Yeah. Funny they call it Lisp. It's like we call that a speech impediment.
A speech impediment, and they call this computer.
And they call it,
yeah, programming language, learning.
Yeah.
So this language model gave way for decision tree, because when you're asking this AI that was invented before the actual language model, which was giving them answer to mathematic questions before a decision tree, point is, they keep telling you like 40s, 50s, 60s, we had this and that, and then this and then that, and it was just all a bunch of, rubbish, really, trying to alter your perception of exactly when and where and how. Because if you ask anybody, computers and your smartphones with language models just came out in the last 20 years. Right? So what is a decision tree? And decision trees were developed by Morgan and Sundquist in 1963 in their search for the determinants of social conditions. In one example, they tried to untangle the influence of age, education, ethnicity, and profession on a person's income. So they tried to get this computer to be able to determine or predict, how smart, how much education, what person's ethnicity and their profession or what they do for a work, all of that information, personal information, based off of just their income. A decision tree is a type of supervised machine learning used to categorize or make predictions based on how a previous set of questions were answered. The model is a form of supervised learning, meaning that the model is trained and tested on a set of data that contains the desired categorization. Again, your search bar, when it predicts what you want to search for, or predicts what's the next 3-4 words of that sentence. And the same as the map predicts which route has more traffic, which route has a road or a detour closed. All not in the last 10, 15 years. They've been having humans feeding data to these computer databases for decades. That's a majority of my parents' life. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Pink Floyd knew what they were talking about when they said, "Welcome to the machine."
Right?
Right?
I never thought that, but yeah. And when you think about these classifications or these learning models or decision trees are for a, think about what the word robot originally meant, and when you look up the actual definition or read the definition of that machine, it's anything that has multiple parts working together to be a whole. So yeah, when Pink Floyd says "Welcome to the machine," like the whole military complex with the government behind it is a machine. That's why they say, "Rage Against the Machine," or "Welcome to the Machine."
AI is going to be a former robot as well. So this is interesting. AI? Yeah, so robot used to mean slave, but now it means machine. But then we're going to be the slaves to the machine.
Machine, and we already are.
It's all come around full circle, man.
Full circle. Yeah, and it makes you think, what were they labeling it to begin with,
Yeah.
While we're all arguing about what is the true definition of robot or slave and who was or wasn't, who is or isn't, all of this has been building itself better.
Yeah.
And then we have Unimate. The Unimate robot. Unimate was the first industrial robot, which worked on General Motors' assembly line at the Inland Fisher Guide plant in Ewing Township, New Jersey, in 1961. Again, our perception of vehicle and production line, assembly line was the Model T. Ford did that, right?
Yeah.
Back when? Early 1900s? But it took another 50 years for them to implement robots into the assembly line or manufacturing or industrial work.
This has made me think of something. So, when I was young, my mom used to work at this place called Peerless Insurance. And I had gone in there, and there was like these, you could, all around, it was a huge place. And all around the building, there was like this kind of worn out patch of carpet. Right? Well, they had a robot who delivered mail to everybody. and that was like 40 years ago. Almost 50, probably. I bet
Yeah.
you they had it 50 years ago, but yeah. I mean, that's what I thought of when I saw that. I was like, what does that thing do? And then I started thinking about that robot delivering mail, and I was like, oh yeah, man, they had a robot that delivered mail, bro. It's crazy.
It is crazy, and like I said, when we go about our everyday lives in 2024, we think, how quick has it advanced in the last 15, 20, 30 years? Wow, it's crazy.
Right.
Our perception of the last 20, 30 years is ridiculous. When we think about where we came from with robots to where we are now, it's not 20, 30 years. This is 100 and counting.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't just coin the term robot in the 20s, and then not even 10 years later have a humanoid robot that it sounds a lot like what we know as Siri or Sophie, and then this industrial robot was just just beginning to be played with in 1961. I've been in manufacturing for some time now, and at the beginning of my career, they're already adding robots.
Yeah.
Robots were, cool and new to smaller manufacturing, but here you got General Motors with their assembly line. So it makes you wonder too. Like, well, when were the government bailing out General Motors and other major car manufacturers for all these people who were losing their jobs? But for 50, 60, 70 years, they've been assembly lining these vehicles they overcharge us for with robots, the Unimate.
Right. My mom brought up a good point. She said that same place, Peerless Insurance, is now Dartmouth. You get it, right? You can't make this stuff up, man.
No, you can't.
It totally is
man.
Dartmouth, too. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, you can't. You can't make these things up. I wish you could. I wish we did. But, and it's all right here. It's all right there. And then last, before I'll sign off, but like I said, I'd make it quick, and I do have a lot more. And regardless if I had another hour, we'd still have to make this a two-part. And because of being short, I challenge you guys. I challenge anybody listening or has watched to dig into this. Look at how you have been led to perceive when things were invented, when they come about, and think. Try to reprogram your perceptions. Up is down, left is right. The robot's been around for longer than a refrigerator.
Yeah.
This is again industrial manufacturing. They call it the Stanford arm robot. The Stanford. It's funny that the other was for General Motors, and I mentioned Ford. I didn't even put that two to good. Stanford arm. This arm is an industrial robot with 6 degrees of freedom. 6 degrees.
Yeah, of course it does.
So this thing was designed at Stanford University by Victor Scheinman in 1969. So this thing has its 6 degrees of freedom, meaning that this is the first arm to work around humans. So in let's say General Motors had the Unimate robot on the assembly line. So that whole assembly line in that process from here to here was a humanless part of the manufacturing, because these robots would do what they're programmed with whatever they had, regardless if somebody, a human could be torn apart or not. So not too much further down the road, another 67, 8 years, maybe, Stanford Arm is the industrial robot that can work and do what it's programmed around humans. This is the beginning of human relationships with a robotic arm. And the fact that human interaction with robotic arms has been in industrial settings much longer than what they tell you. So if and when you dig into some of the robotics and industrial robotics and how we, I think I've mentioned how society is heading towards a universal basic income because all these humanoid robots are taking and have the capability and gaining more capability of doing more and more human tasks. Just remember that, again, it isn't because of the gentleman who created electric cars. Excuse me. That the electric cars, it pioneered the automotive industry in the last 20 years, and now it's a takeover. And he's got his robots that will be taking over. And again, when you read into these things or think about where it is going, think about how long it's been around. These things are not new, and if you have any perception of it being from the 90s or the 2000s and on, you got to look into this. You got to go read about the Stanford Arm, read about the Dartmouth project there, the summer of AI. It's more like when they tell you that the first automobile was around, or the first refrigerator was around, or icebox, or when they first came up with electricity. They already had these things in the works, if not the technology to start them and working with them. Okay. And they wanted to give you the light bulb theory and argue about when and where the light bulb and who has the better idea. Is it Tesla light bulb or Whitinghouse light bulb or Westinghouse light bulb? AC current, DC current, when they were making AI and robotics already.
Yeah. They don't want us to know anything. So they give us all kinds of conflicting information.
Exactly. And then when you're learning these things, it's been 50 years past due.
And then you get to today's day and age, and everybody goes, "Oh, it's supernaturally changed. History's supernaturally changed. It's a Mandela effect." You know? Oh my goodness!
Exactly, and that's you're arguing about those exact things, the Mandela effect, how things change. How could they have done that to my memory? How could they have done that? When you your attention span, your intelligence, your cognitive thinking, it's all being sucked out of you the more you watch short videos, and it's designed to suck that out of you.
Yeah.
It's designed to make you stupider, to make you need your ADHD medication or your antidepressant medication, so on and so on and so on. It's not a something to scare you by. It's something to get you to think about in an opposite way that we've been programmed to think or perceive or to accept these falsities as truths.
Right.
I just had that other thing I was talking about. It's all the basic distraction to keep you from the truth and understanding where they've had these things, and technological advances, again, are not what they discovered or when they termed. This is all fallen angel technology. It's tapped into communicating with the fallen angels and receiving these sciences.
100%.
But so there, I timed that just right. I was wondering if I would have it done too quick or not enough time at all. But I've been getting better after a while of doing this. So I'm going to leave it there. And like I said, I challenge you, do a little homework, look into this and be ready for the next time. We'll be going further into this. So, again, I won't mention it. I'll bring it up the next time. But it, goes into distractions from God and technologies that distract us from God's and are making us into selfish humans, basically. If you've been following the news or hoping to have a little current event, I think Jay is going to take you on a little bit of currents after I sign out to keep the fellowship going. So if you're in here and you're continuing to watch, stay tuned for Jay's current event.
Yes, sir.
So on that note, thank you for listening, and I appreciate the time. And I can't wait to get back to it. And thank you, Jay. And I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Always a pleasure. Glad to see you here, and hope you have a good time with your family. And God bless you all.
God bless you too, Jay. God bless everybody. Stay vigilant.
Thanks, Franz. Take care, buddy. All right. So, you don't need to see me. So, let's get rid of this. And I don't need headphones anymore. So, let's get rid of this. And what do I need to do? I need to bring over alright, so I want to talk to you guys about this. So, I want to show you guys something. Because a lot of people think this happened. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, just like the other one, this one did not happen either. And they actually tell you in this article a little bit. So I'm not going to read you the article because I don't really care what it says, and neither should you. But if you'll remember, this whole thing started because shots were fired in the vicinity of Trump, right? That's what they said. Shots were fired. Now, I'm just going to scroll down here, and you can see here, it's talking about this event, and gives you this guy's name, Ryan Wesley Routh, did not fire any shots. Never had Trump in his line of sight and sped away after an agent who spotted him in his direction, officials said, in a neighboring county. So this guy is a CIA operative. Okay? He's in a CIA operation commercial. Not sure if you guys have caught wind of that yet or not. But I want to show you... Oh, did I go past it? They show you a picture. Where is it, man? I'll have to look for it, but they show, I'm sure you guys have seen it. The gun leaning up against the fence, right? With like, and they said, oh, the Secret Service noticed the barrel poking out of the bushes. All right, and if you look at that picture, you're going to be like, there's no way that happened. I mean, it looks like a stage setup. So I'm going to show you. Let's do the numbers, okay? Here we go. Okay? This guy's name is Ryan W. Routh. Ryan is 58. Okay, the rise of the Antichrist. 23, middle initial. Right? Ye are of your father, the devil. Possession. Routh. 82. Here's the portal. Okay? Routh is also 58 years old. This event took place on September 15th, which is 58. Now, some of you might be going, how is September 15th 58? So I'm going to show you. Don't forget, septa means 7. Okay? 7 plus 1 is 8, which leaves us with 5. 58. 58, 58, 58, 23, 82. Okay? All the numbers are there. So I just wanted to show you guys that this whole event is a spell. Okay? Now, what is it a spell doing? Well, they're trying to divide the country further and further. What they're doing is they're building the kingdom for the Antichrist, right? The Antichrist kingdom has to be built before he can come in. Okay? They got to create the chaos so that people yearn for a savior. That is what the Antichrist is. Jesus Christ is the Savior. The Antichrist is the false Savior. So they're going to create a chaos on the earth, which is exactly what it says on. That is their whole thing, is order out of chaos. Okay? That's the Masonic MO. Harold says Civil War. Yes, exactly, Harold. So Elon Musk put out a post saying no one has tried to take out Kamala or Biden yet. Okay, so what they're doing is they're building up this thing, and they're making it look like the government, CIA, is trying to take out Trump. All right? So, because Kamala and Biden are in power. So, now, instead of it just being this little dude on a roof who also was in a CIA commercial, now you have these two people who both have connections to the CIA and are in a plot to take out Trump. Now, this is going to cause the right and the people who love Trump to want to rise up against the government. Okay? This is exactly what they want. Okay? And it's also causing people to rise up against the left. So the right and the left are getting further and further and further apart. Like, Americans can't stand each other right now. Okay? So when this event finally takes off and Trump is taken out, that is when civil war comes in. Okay? When civil war ensues, they can use the War Powers Act to stay in power. This is how Kamala is going to become president. Biden's out of the picture. So Trump's taken out, civil war ensues, we're in a wartime. Now we're at war, and Kamala can institute the Wartime Powers Act and she can stay in power. No election, no nothing, just like I've been saying for years. Now, in case you are still on the fence, it's funny when I talk about Trump, people just bow out. So people are so connected to this man. They are under his spell. It's really sad because the people who leave when I talk about Trump are the people who need to hear this. But whatever. It's my job to share the truth, not convince people of it. So, in case you didn't know this, Time Magazine on September 11th, right, put out this cover. And you can see here, this is a legitimate cover. Shows Trump at the golf course, and it says, "In trouble." And then all of a sudden, some nobody who's not even from Florida, who's been in Ukraine for however long, just happens to know Trump's schedule. This golf trip wasn't even planned. So they're trying to make it look like someone is on the inside is giving information about Trump, and then the government is sending these people in to do these things. Oh, I wasn't talking about anybody in here. I was talking about the people who left. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about you, D. I was talking about the people who are gone, you know. I watched the count drop about 5 or 6 people when I started talking about Trump. That's what always happens. So I was just commenting on it, you know. But anyways, so Time Magazine puts this cover out, and then all of a sudden this event happens. I mean, people gotta be fast asleep to buy into this stuff. For real. They gotta be hitting the snooze button every chance they get. Now, I got a couple other things to show you guys. Which I thought was interesting. Let me see if I can. I'll just do a search. So, scientists, if you want to call them that, they're laying the groundwork whoops. Sorry, I didn't have anything pulled up. Just that one thing, but then I started talking to Franz and stopped preparing some other stuff. So, remember what I showed you guys about the WHO, right? And their powers that we've given to them. Not us, but our governments, okay? So, scientists discover 17, yep, that's right, new species of ancient viruses in the rapidly melting permafrost from the Himalayas. So we have it on, this is announced on Wednesday, okay, Odin's Day, on 2/8, August 8. So you have 8/8/8. 1,700 new species of ancient viruses. So remember, they're going to want to, how can I say this? The WHO is going to want to seize power and give people stickers, right? They want to hand out stickers for everyone. 2 and 3 for everyone. so that everybody can have stickers. And this is laying the groundwork. Now, some of these things, some of this pestilence is real, because the Bible does say that if we go to Revelation 6, oops, I always do that. You see, oh, maybe it wasn't Revelation 6. Alright, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. It wasn't Revelation 6. I was thinking of the pestilences, which, they'll come. But that's one of the judgments, pestilence, sickness. Okay? So, are they going to blame one of these new 1700 ancient viruses for the World War Z I Am Legend effect, instead of it being the stickers? They can blame it on these viruses and saying, oh, there was some ancient zombie apocalypse and the virus was frozen in the ice, but it melted, and now this crazy thing is happening on the face of the earth. Okay, so I'm just trying to make you guys aware, because I want you to keep your eyes open, because this is what's happening. That's not all, so watch this. This is the birdflusummit.com. Okay? Now, this is happening from October 2nd to October 4th with all these brainwashed yokels. Okay? But let's see. I don't know if they're going to show me what I want to show you here. Justify your attendance. So let me open this, and let me open the brochure. Let's see what we can get here. Yeah, that's not what I want. Oh, look at that. Giant picture of a huge needle. I mean obelisk. So they want to talk about H5N1 prevention and recovery. They want to talk about preparedness in birds, preparedness in cattle, preparedness in pets, detection in pets, and response in people. So they're planning something huge. Welcome to the International Bird Flu Summit, where we address the pressing concerns surrounding the recent developments in avian influenza, with the emergence of a highly virulent strain of bird flu affecting both cattle and humans. That's pretty interesting, because I don't remember people ever having a bird flu. Okay? And why doesn't the bird flu kill the birds? Why does it pass from healthy birds to kill humans? These are things I wonder. Why so many people are duped. Topics. Let's see what they're going to talk about. Mass fatality management planning. Okay? This ought to give you pause right here. That's the number one topic. Mass fatality management planning. So how are we going to handle all the bodies? Right? Just think about what's being said here, you guys. Surveillance and data management, right? Because they want to surveil everybody and make sure that you're not sick. Oh, little Johnny has a cough. Roll in deep. Pull him out of the home. Isolate him. Stick him in a tube. Gotta give him some jabs. Preparing community strategies, local partnerships, and participation. So this is how they're going to manipulate the police and the National Guard in your area. Just understand that there is going to come a time very soon where you're not going to be able to call the police for help. You're not going to want to go anywhere near the police. The police are not your friend, okay? Do you know what police stands for? Policy enforcement, okay? That's what the word police is. It's a abbreviated form of policy enforcement. Okay, police. They work for the government, not for you. And they will do their bidding. Okay? They're the thin blue line, right? Back the blue bloods. Think about it. Now, I'm not trying to convince you to hate cops or nothing like that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get you to use your head. Which I know you all do. I'm just throwing these things out there. Another topic they want to talk about is delivery of vaccine and antiviral medication. Right? Because do you guys remember when like vaccines used to cure or prevent the sickness from happening? So if these things actually worked, right, then there wouldn't be need for this first topic, right? But it's Apollo. They're creating chaos to give you the solution. So they bring the sickness so they can give you the cure, which is actually the sickness, which will cause this. Okay, they want to teach medical countermeasures. Okay, I don't know about you, but when I see that word countermeasures, I don't think of medicine. I think of military. Socioeconomic impact on poultry and livestock industries. They've been trying to get rid of meat for years now, trying to get everybody to eat veggie burgers, right? The Bible even says that in the last times that people will abstain from meats. Of course, I don't know which one. Right? All this stuff is, that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. All this stuff is in Scripture, man. All of it. Right? Here we go. Now speaketh the Spirit expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry, which we're seeing that people won't get married anymore, and commanding to abstain from meats. So we're seeing these biblical prophecies start coming forward in this bird flu summit. benefit risk assessment, public health, industry, and regulatory perspectives. Benefits risk assessment. Now, call me old-fashioned, but I like the good old days when I could decide if I was at risk or not and wanted to do something. I don't need somebody to tell me that I have a cold and I need to take medicine. Okay? I don't need any crazy group of radicals trying to tell me that I'm at risk of dying. So what? What if I wanted... I'm not asking these people to save me. Nobody is. Right? They're pushing it on you. They're not giving you a choice. Okay? If people don't realize we are in the end times, they're doomed. People need to wake up. Prevention, education efforts, and risk communication. So this means they want to teach you the propaganda, okay? That you need to learn the propaganda about prevention. This is all stuff that was like in that WHO document as well. Command, control, and management. Command, control, and management. Right? None of this stuff is... This is like how a military takes over a rogue nation. Okay? That's what you see here. This is a military strategy. This is not a health thing. Okay? Who's ever even heard of the bird flu? I mean, they said it exists, but who's ever even seen it? Right? H5N1, that's what they call it. I'm just curious, so let's pull this back up. H5N1. Oh my goodness, I already see it. Are you ready? H is 8. 5. N is 14 plus 1 is 15, which is 555, which is 666. So here you have 58, 666. Unbelievable. And people wonder why I do the numbers. Look. Just look. How many 58s do you need to realize there's something to this stuff? All right. Emergency response management, business-based planning. You mean how they're going to turn Walmarts into FEMA camps? School-based planning, community-based planning. Look at the things that are at the end of the list. Local participation, and the first thing on the list is massive killing. So, this is pretty crazy. Okay, this is about to happen. October 2nd to the 3rd. Okay, look at that. 23. Can't make this stuff up, you guys. 23. Get right out of town. All right, let's see what else it says. Let's see what they're elaborating on. All right, the concurrent breakout session 1. Mass fatality management planning. Develop and maintain plans, procedures, programs, and systems. Develop and implement training and exercise programs. Direct fatality management tactical operations. activate fatality management operations, conduct morgue operations. Really? Really? You guys, they're telling you something without telling you something. Want to know what they're going to do? I mean, just read this. That's all you got to do. You just got to read this. Learn how to plan. Make everyone a stakeholder. Spell out roles and responsibilities. Recognize problems earlier. Make the right decision. Know your resources. Test them against your toughest scenarios. Keep the business alive. What business? Oh, the morgue business. That's right. Whenever I go to Walmart, I check out their layout, ventilation, etc. Makes perfect sense for camps and detention. Yeah. Yeah, that's in a lot of Walmarts are closing their buildings. They're getting ready for this mass, I don't even know what you call it, isolation, what do you call it? When you like separate people, why can't I think of the word? I've probably said it a million times before. Quarantine. Mass quarantine. That's what I wanted to say. A lot of warehouses going up here. They think they will be used like Wally Mart. Yes. Yes, I do. Yep. 100%. Once Cam gets in the office, like for real, all bets are off. Life as you know it is over. Okay? Life as you know it. Like, even today it's okay. You can still function and do things like, yeah, it's getting bad out there, but it's still, you still can do pretty much whatever. But once she's in there and pulling the strings for real, and there's no risk of her being outed, it's over. It's all over. I mean, just read Revelation 17 and 18 and understand how the Lord feels about the whore of Babylon. See how much judgment is coming down because she's absolutely abominable, right? She's going to, you can kiss the Constitution goodbye. Not that you could ever use it for yourself anyways, but you can kiss Second Amendment goodbye. You can kiss rights goodbye, freedom of speech, anything. Everything that people think makes America great is over. Each state has at least 2 re-education camps already set up. Oh, I believe it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, this is how America was started. Have you ever wondered why America had so many insane asylums? Did you ever wonder how come America had so many orphans? Well, I'll tell you, they go hand in hand. Okay, this is what the world fairs were for. To teach people the new history of the world. Okay, they wanted people to move into this new history. Anyone who wanted to hang on to the truth, okay? if you wanted to hang on to the truth and you weren't willing to accept the fact that they were changing history, they would put you in an insane asylum and shut you up because they were making America. Okay? They weren't creating America and building America. America was here. Okay? These buildings are over 1,000 years old that you look at. America was already here. Okay? The train tracks weren't laid. They were unburied. Understand that people knew the truth. And if you knew the truth and you weren't willing to get on with the program and do this new lie, then they would lock you up in an insane asylum and say that you're crazy, that you have crazy thoughts, and they would take your kids and they would re-educate them in the new ways so that you would believe in America and the new nation and freedom and everything they tell you to believe. Okay? This is what happened. And this is what's going to happen again. Okay? They're going to come, the old world. If you were going to hang on to the truth of the old world, because they were erasing it. Just look at Tataria, okay? Everybody, this is where everybody goes to, so I'll just talk about it for a second. Just look at Tataria, okay? This huge nation, which almost enveloped the entire earth, just vanishes from history, and now people are like refinding it and digging stuff up and seeing stuff, okay? That's what I'm talking about. They erased the old history and made new history. Okay? Satan did that. Man's not smart enough to pull something like that off. This is dark spiritual power creating a new kingdom to lead up to where we are today. Okay? This is why he needed America. People think this is a Christian nation. Are you kidding me? First of all, they say that it's built on Judeo-Christian values. What in the heck does that mean? Oh, so it's built on Christ-denying values and Christ values? Okay, I guess that's right. Why would a Christian nation have freedom of religion, knowing that there is no other true faith? That there's only one way to the Father, and that is through Jesus? Why would a Christian nation allow other religions? Think about that. How are you going to be a Christian and allow your nation? How are you going to be a Christian nation and allow everybody to just go to the pit? That's not a Christian nation. A true Christian nation would follow Christ and have everybody that comes in follow Christ. What does the Bible say even about the Sabbath? Even if you have a guest at your house, they are to honor the Sabbath, whether or not they believe in God or not. Okay? This is what a Christian nation would do. There's certainly no such thing as Judeo-Christian. Okay? Those are two opposite things. They're two completely opposite things. Now, we're going to see Christian persecution. This is where the re-education is going to come in. This is where they're going to, once again, establish a new narrative. Okay? And those of you who will not accept the new truth that they're pushing, well, those are the people who will be persecuted, and that will be the Christians. Everybody else will just accept it. They're just going to go along with it. Okay? So, just be prepared for what's coming. Okay, just like before, nothing new under the sun. Okay, same things over and over again happening in different ways. This is the modern day changing of history. They always change history. You know why they always change history? So that you never know where you came from. You never know. Because as long as you can't nail down your roots, well, then they get to dictate everything to you. Right? What is that saying? Those that control the past control the present, and those that control the present control the future. So, or something like that. So this is where they want you. I mean, look at all the people who think we live in a simulation. I mean, this is what happens when you don't know where you're from. This is why the Lord gave us the Bible. This is why there's genealogies in the Bible, so that you can trace everything back. There's a timeline. You can follow it clear and precisely. There's no confusion there. It may be hard to understand or tricky for some to piece together, but it's there. It's always there. Why don't people see this? Oh, well, because they're not looking. Right? They're not looking. They accept the narrative. You know, government says space is real. Space is real. Government says trust the science. Trust the science. Government says this. This is the thing. It's like, when we are brought up pledging our allegiance to this nation and to the flag, the Bible says swear no oath. So understand that from childhood, we have been inducted into this mindset. Okay, this is why people were going to insane asylums, because they weren't going to let go of the actual truth for what people now think is the truth. Okay, what people believe nowadays is exactly what those people in the asylums were not going to cave to. Because they knew the truth. They knew this nation. They knew America meant land of the plumed serpent. People knew these things, but they had to get away with that, right? They had to do it all over. They had to get rid of it. Like, the New World Order isn't something that's just happening now. The New World Order is when they did those asylums and erased the old history. That's the New World Order, when they made kings into presidents and gave you the illusion of freedom and voting. That's the New World Order. And what you're seeing is the culmination of those well laid out plans. And everything in the Constitution was created not by men, by Satan, to lead everyone to this place. Because everyone puts their faith in America and the Constitution and their fake Jesus, and nobody reads the Bible. Nobody understands the Bible, but they can tell you all about the Declaration of Independence. They can rip off the Bill of Rights by memory. Okay, they know these things, but they don't know what will save them, because they've been taught to put their trust in the Constitution and not in God. They're worshiping God, a God, but it's the God of this world. They worship the God who is referenced on the money, who is referenced on the courthouses. Okay, this is a nation of idols. So, you know, yeah, programming, exactly, Harold. Yeah, stay prayed up. It's exciting to know the truth and not be chained to indoctrination. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Yeah, amen. It is. And see, but once you are in that position where you are ready to accept the truth, it's awesome. But you have to understand that these people have been brainwashed. Their whole reality is a lie. Their whole life is based on lies. So when you want to share the truth with somebody who is in the matrix, sleeping zombie, understand the reason they don't want to hear it and the reason they don't want to accept it is because they have cognitive dissonance and their brain will break without the Lord. Okay? Jesus frees us from this deception. Jesus frees us from the matrix. So he tore, right? That's why it said the veil tore at the cross, because he set us free so that we could see the truth. But without Jesus, people will just fight you because they can't see the truth. They'll never see the truth. You need Jesus to see the truth. Now, I'm not saying that people can't, there's people who believe in flat earth but don't believe in God. Or there's people that believe in God but not Jesus. Like, there's so many deceptions out there. So many deceptions. Forgot. I was going to say something, but I totally forgot. Oh boy. What do we got here? Eggs. Do you know that this is how they used to make vaccines, in eggs? They used to culture them in eggs. So, equitable access. Vaccine optimization and equitable access. That means they want to give it to everybody equally. Wow. All right. Global influenza surveillance networks and delivery of vaccine and antivirals. Current and emerging approaches in V development, advances in avian influenza V strategies, V optimization and equitable access, strengthening antiviral medication distribution systems, enhancing global surveillance networks for timely response. Global surveillance networks. Understand that when Cam gets in, this stuff is off the handles. This is what's happening. Look, it's happening October 2nd to the 3rd, right? Before 55. Before the selection on November 5th. Remember the 5th of November. The gunpowder treason and plot. I see no reason the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Don't forget that V for vendetta. V, right? Let's look him up. Let's look up Wikipedia. V for vendetta, right? Let's see. Remember the guy in the Guy Fawkes mask? Right? Freedom forever. freedom from the fear of God. This is why the Freemasons, they're free from the fear of God forever. V, this is Lucifer's letter. I know you guys know this, but since I talk about these things, I want to show what, for people that may be tuning in, okay? This is the sigil for Lucifer. See the letter V? You'll notice that it's also the Play Store logo. Because Google is Googlecifer. It's Lucifer, right? Where you can type in the search and you can obtain the knowledge of good and evil. Okay, but let me not get sidetracked. V is Lucifer. 5 is the Roman numeral, which is 6. But V is also Vav. So in the Hebrew alphabet, it is the number 6. So V for Vendetta. Okay, 2005 dystopian political action film. The guy who plays V is the same guy who plays Mr. Smith in the Matrix. Remember, Mr. Smith is the one that Neo destroyed in the first film, but comes back as a virus. Right? So Neo, the Antichrist figure, kills Mr. Smith, who was the enemy, and then the enemy comes back as a virus. And when he is changing people, what he does is self-replicates. I'm sure you've all seen it. And when he's changing people, he puts their hand in their chest. And then this black goo starts coming out of Mr. Smith and transforming them into a clone of him. And he is V. Okay, these things go hand in hand. Don't think because it's two different movies that these things don't go together. They totally go together. Okay, V is also for virus. Now, he rises, right? They think he's dead. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, so I'll just give you a little brief. What happened is they were performing all these experiments, giving people various types of stickers, we'll call it, okay? And people were dying in mass from this testing that was being done on them. But V, whose name is V because he was in room 5, there was a Roman numeral V on his door, he survived it and it gave him superpowers. He became Agent 47. Okay? The guy who is the virus in the Matrix. So V rises from the dead to start killing all the government officials in the movie and taking over TV networks and starting a revolution, an uprising, and ends up giving his life for the people. Complete antichrist going on here, you guys. So he gives the life for his people, and the people, there's an uprising, and everybody is wearing Guy Fawkes masks. Well, guess what people do today when they want to go and make a stand? They put on the Guy Fawkes mask. And just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, Oh, it's Fox, right? AWKS. Yeah, alright. It's this mask right here. This is the Guy Fawkes mask. And you will have seen this all over the place. That group of pretend hackers who call themselves anonymous, which is actually a government agency out of the NSA. Okay? They wear this mask. This is what they use. Okay? This is the Antichrist mask. Understand. This is Antichrist to the core. Now, you can see here that it's talking about the gunpowder plot. Okay? Let's go ahead and have a look at that. The gunpowder plot of 1605. In earlier centuries, often called the gunpowder treason plot or the Jesuit, the Jesuit treason. Okay, IHS, Isis, Horus, Set, inside of Osiris. That's the symbol for the Catholic Church. How awful. Guy Fawkes, while fighting for the Spanish, was a member of a group provincial English Catholics involved in a failed gunpowder plot of 1605. Yeah, he was a Jesuit. Yep, you're absolutely right. Now, this happened on November 5th, which is when the election is. Okay? 66. 5 and 1 is 6. 66. 55. 66. So, now we're coming up on the election, which is on 11, November 5th. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Okay, November 5th. Now, 5/11, that's 55, which is Satan. Okay? You can't make this stuff up. And that's when our election is. That's not going to happen. It's on Satan's day, when the whore of Babylon will be in power. Pretty interesting. Fawkes was discovered guarding 36 barrels of gunpowder. So, this is what V for Vendetta, well, that's not what V for Vendetta is about, but this is where V gets his idea from, because he wants to blow up the Parliament building. So it says, in the near future, Britain is ruled by the Norse Fire political party, a fascist and totalitarian regime led by High Chancellor Adam Sutler, who controls the populace through propaganda and imprisons or executes those deemed undesirable, including immigrants, homosexuals, and people of alternative religions. Now, I want to show you, what was his name? Adam Sutler. Let me highlight that. I want to search out some pictures for this dude, because I want to show you something. Okay, who remembers when Joe Biden came out and gave the speech that looked like a set from the new Star Wars or this? Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, where they don't want to give you a big picture of the stage, do they? That's not it, is it? No, that's just the multi. Here we go. This is it. Oh, it is it. You see, they're giving you these imageries. Are they the same? Of course not. But you're getting the idea, right? Darkness. And for some reason, Joe Biden could talk on this day. For some reason, he was able to give a speech. That speech was creepily ominous by Sleepy Joe. It was indeed. You're absolutely correct. See, they're laying the groundwork, okay? You're watching the Matrix mixed with V. Also Star Wars, right? Let's see, what is that dude's name? I can't remember any of these new characters, but, Star Killer Base Speech. Let's get some imagery. Okay, here you have more. Let's see. It's hard to like get the angle. Same kind of idea, right? What is that? Oh, isn't that interesting? At this angle, it just looks like Gmail. Huh. Or the Freemason's apron, right? So here you have another thing. See? They're making way. This is what's coming. They're showing you what's coming. The new empire. And in V is trying to destroy the government, right? Out with the old, in with the new. He took out like all these people. I wish I remembered more of that movie, but I haven't seen it in a really long time. Yeah, here's what that picture actually looks like. Nice black hole sun, right? The Black Sun Empire inside a hexagon. I mean, that's not exactly what the Black Sun Empire looks like, but that's the idea it's giving off. Not the band, jeez. What is it called if it's not that? Just Black Sun? Alright, well. So you can see Black Sun. Oops. Black Sun. Okay, it's a sun that's in black and red. Same idea. The First Order. This is the rise of, remember, Palpatine came back, right? Everybody thought the Emperor was dead, but he came back to start a new world order. Just like in V, they thought he was dead, but he came back to start a new world order. Just like in, what was I just talking about? Man, I got so much on my mind. I'm like losing stuff. Oh, just like in the Matrix, right? Mr. Smith was dead, but he came back. All these Antichrist figures coming back represent viruses. Okay? You thought you killed it, but it comes back. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. I actually went and saw this movie in the theaters when it came out. March 17th. Yeah. I mean, I would have to look into it, but anyways, this is what we have to look forward to, right? We're watching this New World Order culmination come to pass. We're watching the WHO be given all this power. Wow, wait a minute. Sometimes things just pop into my head. W is 23. And HO is... Any guesses? 23. That's insane. Wow. That's just crazy. It's always called the WHO. Like HO is a one word and W is another. There's always like a little pause. The WHO. That's crazy. Okay. You think that cooperation works for the enemy? So here we have the power being ceded over to Satan himself through this rise of the Antichrist. This stuff is insane, you guys. I know you guys can all see, but I hope other people start picking up on this stuff because, man, it is so in your face. Look at all the chickens. Oh, you have 6 all-day workshops to choose from. Huh. Go figure. 6 of them. Isn't that interesting? But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this stuff because this is what's happening right under our noses. Don't think this isn't coming back because it's coming back with a vengeance. Okay? V is for vendetta. It's coming back with a vengeance. Join the event from $1,000. Wow. Yeah, no thank you. I like to keep my Satanism at a far, far distance. This is nothing we need. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. So let's see, we got global health. These people are evil. Make no mistake. They're taking part in a completely demonic organization. Don't think, oh, they're deceived. No, they're coming. These are the people who are coming to lay out the plan. Okay? These are the people coming to lay out the plan. They're not deceived. They're deceivers. They might be deceived by Satan, but they're doing his bidding on their free will. It don't take much to stand back and go, you know what? Something's not adding up here. But they don't do that. They accept it. So, just wanted to share that with you guys. Let me see if I have anything else I wanted to share with you. Oh, yeah. This is just like off topic. But I found something I think you guys will find interesting. This is what I do like in my spare time. I just think of things. And sometimes I think of crazy things. Sometimes I don't. All right, so here we have Dorman. Can't sleep? Dorman, the original nighttime sleep aid. Now, I'm going to give you guys a minute. And if I've shown you this, please don't chime in. But I'm going to give you guys a minute to try to decipher why I'm showing you this. And it has nothing to do with the number 72. So, but 72 obviously is 66 plus 6. 7 plus 2 is 9. Number of the beast. Pink capsules. Nimrod. Yes, that's exactly right. Good job. Nimrod. Can't sleep? Nimrod will put you to sleep. The original nighttime sleep aid. The original master of putting people to sleep. Nimrod. How many stars do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 55. Nimrod will put you to sleep. Don't worry. Good job. That's awesome. Yeah, so craziness. Of course, you got 6 common myths about insomnia. 6. It's awesome. I couldn't stay asleep, but now since I'm using this product, I'm sound asleep with no interruptions. Highly recommended. I mean, we just got to read between the lines here. What? I felt like there was something else. It's founded by the family Crossing Well. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hold on. Yep. See, it says Crossing Well right here. How interesting. Go to sleep in the arms of demons. Yeah, exactly. We'll put you back in the Matrix. Don't worry. That was just a movie. We can reinsert you into the Matrix. Unbelievable. Yep. So that's pretty crazy. I saw that and I was like, are you kidding me right now? Oh, one other thing I want to talk to you guys about. Because I'm talking about division, right? We're talking about division. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to divide people. Okay, this is another thing. Look, it's already got a Wikipedia page, you guys. That's not suspicious. Oh my heavens! Look at and it not only does it have a Wikipedia. Look how long it is. Are you kidding me? This was built beforehand. I'm just gonna show you guys something. You see all these little numbers, okay? These are references on where you can find what they're talking about, okay? So when people are like, oh, Wikipedia, you can't trust. Well, if you don't trust Wikipedia, then just click on what they're talking about and go read the article. I'm not saying you should trust that either. Just showing you. Now, look at this. Okay? 123 references. There is no way this Wikipedia page was built in one day. No way. Sorry, it's impossible. Absolutely impossible. Way too much information to be gathered up, typed out, referenced, and put into order in a day? No way. No way. So, my point to showing you this is that this is being used to divide. Okay? It's being used to divide people because what you're watching, the whole thing that's going on between Israel and Palestine, the whole thing is being used to start a war here. All right? Because between the right and the left, and between the left and the left, because they're just eating themselves right now. They don't even know what to do. Okay? But this goes right along with the Trump thing. Everything. When you see something happening in the news and it's something big, just take a step back and think to yourself, what would this accomplish? Let's say this event didn't happen. What would be the purpose behind this? What is going to happen because of this news story? Now, I'm not going to say it happened. I'm not going to say it didn't. All I'm going to say is that here in America, we get news stories that never happen. They're just propaganda used to get us to feel some kind of way. And everything that's happening right now between, the moderators on the thing cheated, people are trying to shoot Trump, there's a war going on in Israel and Hezbollah, pick a side here, pick a side there, pick a side here, pick a side there. Let's do this, let's do that, let's bomb this, let's try to shoot that, let's kill this, let's die that. Okay? Every time one of these events happen, Americans start to hate each other and their government more and more and more. Okay? It's a powder keg. This nation is a bomb ready to go off. All it's going to take is the right event. And that right event is coming. So, is this real? No. Not in my opinion. Look at this. Does that look like a pager to you? That doesn't look like a pager to me. Just saying. Now, you can't even get a straight story on this. I'm going to re-look it up. Let's see here. Let's see what these guys have to say. Whoa, get out of here. I'm looking for specific details. Look at this dude right here. All right. Does this remind you of the Trump thing? I mean, it reminds me of the Trump shooting in the park. Which I wanted to say, like, another thing. Remember how Trump's rallies are always super huge, right? Okay, it said earlier that 8 people had died in 27. Okay, look. 8 was a portal. 27 is 999. Or 72 backwards, which is 66 plus 6. So it's either 999, 666, or 9, number of the beast. But I didn't even talk about this when I was covering Trump's rally, but that was the smallest rally he's ever had. They were all huge before that one and all huge after that one. But for that one, it was small. Why is that? Maybe because everybody was an actor? Maybe because they were all in on it? I mean, that's what I think. Oh, yeah, and look at what they're saying who made the pagers. Okay? Apollo. Just think about this stuff. Okay? Gold Apollo. You can't make this stuff up, but they can. So Apollo took these people out? Right, what's Apollo do? He brings the sickness and the cure. Right? So you bring the problem, which is going to be the war, and then you can bring the solution, which is going to be the Antichrist. Right? Telling you. This is all propaganda. America is the most propagandized country that there is. But anyways, I thought I had, it's over here. Alright, so let's see here. So now they're saying 12 people were killed, 2,750 wounded. A second wave of explosions across Lebanon on September 8th. They targeted ICOM, walkie-talkies, fingerprint biometric devices, and solar panels. So, pay attention. Okay? Because your cell phone that you carry around with you can be used as an explosive device. Walkie-talkies can be used as an explosive device. The solar panels they want you to put on your house can be used as an explosive device. Biometric devices, I don't know exactly what kind, they can too. Now look at this. Deaths. Okay, let's do the numbers. Deaths. 32. What's that backwards? 23. Injured. 32. What's that backwards? 23. Okay, you see? I'm telling you guys, the numbers give it away. Okay? They have to use the numbers in order to make the spell work. That's why the numbers are always a dead giveaway. the 17th to the 18th of September. So if we add 17 and 18, you get what? You get 35, which is 5, 5, 5. Okay? Vav, vav, vav. 6, 6, 6. 23, 23. The synagogue of Satan was the perpetrator. It's all there for us. When I think gold Apollo, I think of T-Man. Oh, yep. Yeah, he's an Apollo worshiper for sure. He's got all that gold stuff in his house. Yep. 100%. Yeah. So this article, just like this magazine cover, it's all created ahead of time. Why? To keep you asleep. Can't have people waking up, right? Trying to create a new narrative, right? Trying to reprogram people. So the people who won't take the program need to be removed. Well, it's going to be the true Christians that are not going to take the program. Okay, we're going to have Agent Smiths coming after us. These are just the facts of life being a Christian. Get rid of that camera. I really don't like using my camera. I don't even like plugging it into my computer. BFS 20. Oh my goodness. You guys want to see this? Bird Flu Summit 2/6/19. 19 and 6. 25. Plus 2. 27. See what I'm saying? The numbers give it away. It's always there. It's not always how you would imagine it, but you can see that international is lowercase and a different color. But Bird Flu Summit is massive. As a matter of fact, why don't we just, for fun while we're here, go ahead and just do the whole thing. BIRDF LUSUMMIT 77 7/11 9/11. It's all the same. Yep, that makes good sense. Happening on 23. Even if you use the one from October, what do you got? 33. 14, which is 77. Apollo. See? The numbers don't lie. This is why we do them. I know you guys know that, but somebody will tune in later on and be like, "Oh, why are you doing gematria? That's evil." You're right, it is evil. But I'm not doing gematria. I'm not trying to figure out the future or trying to channel some dark spirit. Okay? That's not what I'm doing. I'm exposing the enemy Okay? The Bible says to expose the enemy. See how it says right here at the top of my page? Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Okay? All things done in darkness shall come into the light. Well, that's what we do here. We bring the darkness into the light. Alright, well, I don't need this open anymore. If you guys want, you can look that up later. Don't need this. Don't think I need this. Yeah, this dude, man. Definitely a CIA operative. 100%. I wish I could find that picture. Let me find that picture. Trump's. Yeah, let me. That way I don't have to type. Let's see if we can just look up some images. Maybe if I type gun on fence. Of course, it gives me that fake picture. Alright. Let's go back. We'll click all. Boom. Let's see. Oh, that was the other thing I want to tell you guys. Okay? They said that this guy had 100 interactions with the police. 100 beforehand. Oh, yeah. Suspect in Trump's apparent assassination attempt has a criminal history. So, he had brushes with the law prior to this. So, of course, it's not going to say anything. But let's see if we can find it. And, of course, he used to be a Trump supporter. But now he's calling Trump Hitler. This is what they do. Okay? They try to get people to follow along in this narrative. Just trying to find... Look at his hair. It's dyed yellow and blue. Are you kidding me? This is that CIA commercial he was in. I wanna... They... Cut it out. They, okay, let's see if they put it in here. Alright. He's been convicted of a felony charge of possessing a weapon of mass destruction. Okay, so let's just think about this for a minute. He was a convicted felon. Not only a convicted felon, but he had a weapon of mass destruction. He has a long history of getting in trouble with the law. Right? So how did he get a gun? This is what they want you to think. This is what they want you to ask. They want you to say, obviously our gun laws aren't good enough. They're trying to make the people on the right think that we need more stringent gun laws. You see? There's always a purpose behind these things. And when you start looking into what they're telling you, you can start to understand. How did this guy get a gun? He flew into Florida. He didn't bring it on the plane. He can't buy one in Florida. How'd he get it? See what I'm saying? He didn't. There was no... He had nothing. He's a CIA operative. This is all fake. Fake news. Fake news, but it's doing exactly what they want it to do. I want to find that picture, but I can't. Unfortunately. I don't know why they keep calling this an assassination attempt. They've straight up admitted that no shots were fired. Good night, D. Thanks for coming. Good to see you. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I hope to see you on Saturday night. I'm going to get off here in a little while, too. I've been putting in super long days, and definitely pretty tired. Let's see. Well, they're not going to show the pictures. You know why they're not going to show you the pictures? Because they're so bad. Alright? They're so bad. I'll just look at for one more. Let's see. Maybe CNN will have it. I'll look at two more and then I'm not going to... Alright. No pitch. Alright. Look at this guy right here. See him? He's running. Why? Why is he running? You know? Just think about that. Why is he running? There is no reason to run. The guy was apprehended. No shots were fired. Oh, and there's the little picture you can see, and I'll show it to you in a second. But now you can only see a picture of the picture. Are they going to show us it or not? Oh my goodness. So when you click on it, you get nothing. Alright, well here's what's going to happen. I'm going to do this. Oh, alright. So you can see here, in this picture, I can't even hover over it, there is a gun in between two bags that are hanging on a fence. Why would you even do that in the first place? Okay, but now see where the barrel is up against the fence? I mean, you can, if you want to search this out, you could probably find a better picture of it. But you can see this is, and then you can see bushes on the other side. Okay? This is how this agent saw this thing. From the other side, it says he saw the barrel sticking through the fence. When in the bushes. A Secret Service agent spotted a rifle barrel with a scope sticking out of the fence of the golf course and immediately engaged with the person. The agent who spotted the rifle, Bradshaw, is part of the team that stays a hole or two ahead of Trump on the course. The person was 300 to 500 yards away from Trump. When you do the numbers and they give you stuff like this, you add them together. So you can look at this as 35, or you can look at it as 8. Either way, they're both equal. So this guy won, right? He, or not won, I mean, I don't even know what I mean. I'm just so, like, disgusted by all this propaganda. It really irritates me to no end. But so much is happening. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy out here. It's getting crazy. So that's all I got for you guys. I'm probably gonna cut out here. 'Cause, I mean, I've been getting home at like this time and eating dinner at like this time. Not today, though, but it's just been a really busy week. I had this lady added on a couple days worth of work to my bid, and I'm like in the middle of an exterior job, but I took a break when James came to stay with me, and during that break, after he went back, I was going to do this small job for a customer, and a lot of stuff got added to the job, and so I needed to get back to the other job. So in order to get back sooner, I started working longer days. Well, when you do manual labor and you do longer days, it tends to take a toll on you. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I'm pretty beat. I was really happy that Franz said he was gonna do a presentation tonight, because then I didn't have to rush home and put a bunch of stuff together. Because I didn't have any time Monday night to do it because I was exhausted, or Tuesday night. So when Franz says he was doing Lifting the Veil, I was like, yes. I was very, very pleased. So I'm going to say a prayer for us all, you guys, and then I'm going to cut out. Yeah, I got a rest of the busy week, and then, I'll be preparing for Saturday's show, which I don't mind staying up late because I can sleep in on Sunday, so that's a blessing. So let's just say a prayer. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, Holy Ghost, good evening, Lord. Blessings and praises to you. Thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for this fellowship. Thank you for your wisdom and opening our eyes. Thank you for teaching us how to see this information that they hide in their propaganda. Thank you for letting us receive these warnings, Lord, that we can prepare our spirits and know how to discern the enemy and the weapons that they try to form against us. Thank you, Lord, for providing us with spiritual armor. Please keep in our remembrance to always wear it, Lord, that we may be prepared for battle, because we are at war, and it's just getting started. Lord, teach us to war against the dark spirits. Teach us to pray powerful prayers against the darkness. Teach us to pray for our enemies and to lift up the brotherhood, Lord. Teach us to pray for each other that we may have strength in one another and that the body of Christ may be lifted up in your righteousness, in your power, in your strength, that we can lay hold on each other, that we can cast out demons, that we can bind wicked, evil spirits, that we can do everything you've given us power for, Lord. Give us the faith that we need to do these things. Help us to be single-minded. Help us not to waver, not to doubt, but to pray in humbleness and steadfastness, asking for things that are of your will, that we may receive them, asking for things that will further the kingdom, that we may receive them. Lord, I just ask that you bless each and every person who will hear this message, that they can receive all the information laid out. I pray, Lord, that for those people who can't see, that you teach them to see. I pray you open the ears of those that are meant to hear, that they may receive the message and glorify your mighty name. I thank you for each and every day and each and every person in this fellowship. And I pray for them, Lord. I pray you give them strength and teach them how to fight spiritual warfare. Teach us, Lord, how to war in these last days. Fill us with your Spirit. Lift us up in your strength and hold us in your righteousness, that we may go forth and shine bright your glory. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. As always, I appreciate the support for the channel and, of course, for Franz. Pretty interesting presentation he gave us today. Looking forward to part 2. I don't know if he wants to do it next week, but I feel like he probably should, just because if we break it up in the middle, then, you know, people tend to forget things. It's a fast-paced world, you know. So, yeah, but whatever he wants to do, I'm fine with that. So, thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. And, yeah, having said that, I will hopefully see all of you Saturday, where we're going to start Revelation chapter 14. And, yeah, it's going to be awesome. So, looking forward to that. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. May the Lord watch over and bless you and your families. And I will see you then. Have a good night and take care.